sure is peaceful over here. A little bit north of Blythe, and you can vaguely, faintly hear some traffic in the very far background. There's my old van. I know you all want the latest and the greatest, and you want it fast and furious, and you want it TikTok style, boom, boom, in and out. And that's not how the Lord works sometimes. Takes his time, you know. I was just reading through the first book of Kings where Isaiah had a standoff. He challenged the priests of Baal to bring fire down to burn their offering on their altar, and it didn't happen. So he had a sense of humor. He says, you know, what's taking him so long? Is he asleep? Is he you know, going for a walk? Is he in a toilet? What's he doing? Maybe you need to pray louder, harder. And still nothing happened. And then he asked that his altar with his heifer be drenched with water 3 times. And then he prayed to the Lord, and well, you know the rest of the story. Fire came down and burned everything. But then what's really interesting to me is that the priests of Baal, and there was about 400 of them, eventually got killed. They were done away with. So it brings to mind this concept that the Lord does not want his people to be interfered with by Satanists. And that's why he's coming back the second time with his army to snuff out all the Satanists. You know, he's going to rule with a rod of iron, he says. What side of the fence do you want to be? And a lot of people are starting to use Israel as the red line. You're either for Israel or you're not for Israel. Where are you? And they conflate the synagogue of Satan with Israel. They conflate the Zionists with Jews. They conflate the Jewish nation with the 12 tribes of Israel. They don't realize that, according to 1 Chronicles chapter 5, verse 2, the birthright was handed over to Joseph, not Judah. When Reuben lost the birthright, it was handed over to Joseph. So a Josephite, a descendant of Joseph, because he has the birthright, if he so chooses, if he's inspired by the Lord, whatever he utters, whatever he says, is the law. Think about that one really hard, because there's a lot of Josephites out there. Okay, they haven't been extinguished off the planet. There's a lot of descendants of Joseph from Manasseh and Ephraim. when they pray to heaven up above, their prayers take precedence. They're a priority because they have the birthright. They have the birthright. And when we look at the situation with Israel right now, this dystopia, this, I call it Warsaw 2.0 because it's exactly what happened in Warsaw with the German Nazis. You would think, that a culture or a nation, or call it a tribe, call it whatever you want, a culture, a race, a religion that has suffered so much in World War II at the hands of oppressors, of the Nazis, would be a beacon of humanitarian equity and moral standards, of just charity, compassion. It would shine like a beacon on a hill and would make every attempt to ensure that no crimes against humanity were ever committed by its citizens, by its leaders. And yet we have just the opposite happening. Okay, the state of Israel was born out of terrorism. I mean, all you have to do is look up the King David Hotel. At one time, peaceful Arabs and Jews and Christians lived side by side in Palestine. What happened? What happened? You're going to tell me, well, it's been promised to the Jews that they'll have the land all the way from the Euphrates to the Nile. That's what they were promised. I don't think so. Abraham was promised that. Abraham and his posterity. And Abraham's posterity includes Isaac and Jacob and their sons, their progeny, which includes Ishmael and Esau and their progeny, which basically includes all the Arabs and all the other tribes of Israel that came out of those forefathers, the children of Abraham. All right? So get it straight. Get it straight. I pray that the Lord come down quickly and rapture us. That's what he promised. There will be two in the field working. There will be two working on a mill. One will be taken and the other one will be left. Two sleeping in a bed. One will be taken, the other one will be left. The days will be as in the days of Noah, as in the days of Lot. Drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, partying, buying, selling, planting, building, on and on. The endless merry-go-round of live and let live, business as usual, sorceries, rampant pedophilia, rampant extramarital affairs, all of that. This is where we're at right now. And I pray that we are snatched out of here because until and unless we are snatched out of here, the Antichrist is not going to show up on the scene and all hell is now going to break loose. Now, let's suppose, just hypothetically, that there was no scripture anywhere in the Bible that talked about a rapture. Nowhere would you be able to find anything referring to a snatching away of the Lord's people. Okay? Let's suppose that was the case. Do you realize that the Lord intervened for the children of Israel when they were captive in Egypt because he heard their prayers? Just check out a few scriptures that talk about that. He heard their prayers and he interceded. In other words, we're in the same position here. We are in the middle of some immense, a huge cesspool. And we are being driven left and right by Satan. And we are praying to the Lord to be snatched out of here, to be rescued out. Do you understand? So even if there was no scripture, which there is, even if there was no scripture talking about a snatching away, a rapture, by the way, in Greek it's arpagi, not harpazo, okay? I'm Greek, I know a little bit about what the word stands for, arpagi. It's iarpagi. Anywhere you look in the YouTube, they talk about the rapture in Greek, it's iarpagi. Stop calling it harpazo. What in the heck is that? Brain dead snowflakes thinking that there's something and they know nothing. That's the kind of society we're living in. Everybody thinks they know something, but they've done no research. Zip zilch. I pray the good Lord come on down here in the clouds up above and snatch us away with or without any scriptures referring to a snatching away or a rapture. I pray for that. I want that. With all my heart I want it. And if you don't want it, then you got a problem then. That's what we're looking for. And you ought to be angry. You got to be vexed like Lot was vexed with what was going on around him. You got to be totally vexed. If you're not vexed, then you're going to be staying down here. And maybe live to talk about it. Who knows?